Emily Raquette, and you're watching Amplified.
I grew up poor, and didn't know how money worked. And so many people think that poverty has something to do with something that's lacking out there. But poverty is not something that's lacking out there. Poverty is always something that's lacking inside. Abundance and lack are always both present. And we get the one we focus on. And when you're focused on lack, and focus on lack doesn't mean, well, man, I've got to go create some lack in my life. But focus on lack really means that you believe that lack is everywhere. And so that's all you see. It's like a scotoma, right? And so when you believe abundance is there, then you get to see the abundance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So. You talked today. Well, first, I love you. You're like from the trash man
to the cash man. Yeah, that's the name of my book. So
yeah, because you literally were a trash man.
I literally was a trash man. I drove a garbage truck. Like the first job that I got after I married my wife, after I married this beautiful girl, made her all these promises, and I couldn't figure it out. We were broke. When my wife was 8 months pregnant with our first child, our water and electricity were both disconnected at the same time. It was hard. And it wasn't because I wasn't willing to work. It's just I couldn't fix it. I didn't know what to do. And so I looked in the paper every day and found a job. Oh, somebody's hiring for trash truck driver, right?
So here's what I want to know. Where did you have it in you to shift your mindset to see a greater possibility? Because so many of us, we're kind of doing okay. We're not, our water and our electricity isn't shut off, but we still can't make that shift. And how did you do it when you're in a really rough time?
Yeah, so I got introduced to a network marketing company. Even before I drove a trash truck, I got introduced to a network marketing company that sold insurance and investments. And I went to a lot of their seminars. That was my first exposure to personal development. And there were people that I knew that were making $10,000 a month in the 80s, when $10,000 a month was wow, $10,000 a month, right? Back when gas was $1.52 a gallon or whatever it was back then. Anyway, so I saw these people around me making all this money, and I was like, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. If it's a possibility for anyone, then it's a possibility for me, right? So I'm just going to go for it. But unfortunately, I did not understand business. I didn't understand sales. I didn't understand leadership. I didn't understand recruiting. I didn't understand any of that stuff. But I did something that most people are unwilling to do, and that is I lasted through the learning curve. I kept working on what seemed like it wasn't working. And the reason I say what seemed like it wasn't working is because there's no work that we ever do that doesn't work. See, work is a two-sided coin. There's the work I do on it and the work it does on me. And the work does on me is infinitely more important than the work I do on it. So if I'm building something, if I'm out selling something and nobody buys, it doesn't matter. Every time I do the presentation, I learn, and nobody buys, I learn another way not to do a presentation, right? And sometimes don't be disappointed if you're in sales and your first 500 presentations are just lessons on how not to do a presentation. Does that make sense? I started in insurance in October of 1985, selling insurance and investments. I didn't get my first sale until April of 1987. Wow. 18 months. But I was doing presentations. Family members didn't buy from me, friends didn't buy from me, strangers didn't buy from me. Everybody said no. But I didn't realize that they were saying no because I was selling them the thing that I wanted them to buy. I wasn't selling them the result that they wanted to achieve. And when I learned that selling is not about convincing people to do something they don't want to do, selling is about empowering people and freeing people from their inhibitions so that they can do something they already desire to do. So we have to understand that people do what they do for one reason only. That's because they feel like it. And people don't do what they don't do for one reason only, because they don't feel like it. And if I'm going to make my life better, if I'm out of shape, I'm slightly out of shape, not as out of shape as I have been in my life, but I'm slightly out of shape. But I blew out my knee last year, and so I gained all this weight, and so now I can finally work out again and get back in shape, right? But I don't I don't work out because I like working out. I work out because I like the way I'm going to feel when I get back in good shape. You see what I'm saying? Because working out doesn't feel good. Mm-hmm. But my vision for the future will give me the ability to endure some pain in the present if the vision in the future is strong enough.
So for all this, there's one thing I think anyone watching has in common is somehow, some way, they need to sell, whether they're selling themselves to get the job, or they're asking for a promotion, or they're selling their business, or their services, or their products.
Or your children on cleaning their room, or your girlfriend on being your wife, or your boyfriend on being your husband.
We all sell. So what's your number one tip that we can just walk away with that will help us sell better?
number one tip that would help you sell better: talk to the person's emotion, don't talk to their logic. Like, really begin to communicate heart to heart, not head to head. And I'm talking about regardless of what you're selling somebody on, and make them feel good about how they're going to feel when they get the result that your thing is selling. People don't care about how many books are in your course or how many hours are in your coaching program. They care about the result they desire. If you can show them clearly how they would look experiencing the result that they desire, you can't. Not only do you not have to get them to buy, you can't stop them from buying.